with me, Salome. I can hardly believe what you're telling me, that my son has been arrested and is now before the high priest. I knew that he was celebrating the Passover with his friends and that you and some of the other women were preparing the meal, but please tell me what happened afterward. Salome described the evening. She tells of how Jesus and the men went down the hill to the garden singing after the meal. It was so peaceful and quiet, a lovely night with a full moon, that such beauty could bring forth such evil. The woman wondered why they haven't heard something. It had been hours since she was arrested. Surely there was some mistake. The high priest will have to let him go. He has done nothing. It is because he speaks the truth, and they do not want the truth. They don't understand his mission. They think he has come to destroy the law. But the people understand him and love him. Look how they crowd around him, listening to every word and following him everywhere. Look at the miracles he has done, healing the sick and the blind. It is for that reason he is more powerful than they are. Mary tries to leave, to search out Peter and John, to know what is happening, but Salome pulls her back. It isn't safe to go out. The high priest will do nothing, for it is not lawful to have the Sanhedrin meet at night. It is Passover. They can do nothing. They hate him. It's because my son speaks the truth. He speaks of the Father's love, and those that follow him will walk not in darkness but in the light. Sometimes I wish he had never left Nazareth, that he had become a carpenter as his father did. But if he had stayed there, we would have never known him. We would have never known of God's love and his kingdom. We are taught to worship the true God and obey his laws and take our offerings to the temple, but at times it seems meaningless, just words. But the Master makes it come alive. I'm glad he did not stay in Nazareth. What was he like as a boy? In my heart, he has always been set apart, someone special. I gave thanks to God the night he was born in a stable far from home. He was such a beautiful baby, but I'm sure every mother says that. I remember when we went to the temple for purification. There was a holy man there named Simon. He blessed my son and said that many would fall and rise because of him. I did not understand, but it was a knife at my heart. We fled to Egypt. It was a good life there. My son was growing up a fine young man and a great comfort to Joseph and me. We used to go to Jerusalem each year for the Passover. I remember one time when he was 12. When we left with the others to return home, he was not with us. We thought at first he was with another group, but that night he did not return. We had to retrace our steps. 3 days later, we found him in a temple, talking with the rabbis, just as naturally as if he'd been there all his life. They were asking questions and seemed astonished at his answers. He was a big help when Joseph died. But later, he told me of his mission. He believed God had sent him to tell people of God's kingdom, that he must go out into the world somehow. From that moment, I knew this day would come, but not in this manner. Try and be patient. All we know is that he was arrested by the temple guards and brought before the chief priests. Even if they have a trial, they will need to get witnesses, and that takes time. Mary, mother of Mark, and Mary, mother of James, rush in. They share a story, a terrible story. The high priests have taken the master to Pilate. The Sanhedrin has met, and they have said that he is guilty of blasphemy. He is an enemy of Rome. They are saying he said he was the Son of God and speaks of his kingdom. That angers the Romans, who can only have one king. He was brought before Pilate. Though the Sanhedrin have the right to make the decisions in matters of this blasphemy, because they are afraid of what the people will do. If they can bring him before Pilate on a charge of treason, then they will not be guilty of the final decision, and the people cannot turn against them and cause trouble. Surely Pilate, he will release them. Pilate does not want any trouble, but does he know anything about his people, about how they love him? His wife has been seen in the crowds around the master, and one day she was at the temple when he was speaking. Could she have any influence? The hardest part is the waiting and the waiting, not knowing. He's done nothing wrong. He's only carrying out his mission. John enters, and the waiting ends. The master has been given to Golgotha to be crucified. Pilate has decided. He has given in to the high priest. "Oh, my Lord, have mercy on me." I must go. I must be there to share his agony and suffering. I want to remember in these last hours, those first hours of life when I held him in my arms and the world was before him. Now that the world has come to an end, if I could only take away his agony and pain, but I know and I believe that he has come from God and will return to God, and because of him there will be a new life, a new world, and a new peace. God, give me strength to hold fast. May his love uphold me during these hours to come.